Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the NXT Takeover Portland review. Guys, what can I say about this show? This show is fucking off the hook. If you blinked, you missed what happened. This show was so fucking off the chain. Hands down, Tommaso Ciampa and Adam Cole's match stole the fucking show. Easily. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Fuck, man. This show has got everything you could ask for. Probably one of the best takeover shows I have ever seen in my fucking life. And I've seen every single takeover show ever made. And I have never been this impressed. Tommaso Ciampa and Adam Cole tonight, I think, lived up to the levels of a Kenny Omega versus Okada match that happened about 3 years ago in 2017. These two guys tore each other up. They beat each other senseless, and yet neither one of them could put the other away until Johnny Gargano got involved in that match and fucked over Tommaso Ciampa, hitting him with the title in the head and then pretty much costing him the World Heavyweight Championship. Sounds very familiar from 2 years ago in 2018. So, overall, this was fucking great show. Starting things off, we had Keith Lee defending the North American Championship against Donna McDonough. I can't pronounce his last name very well, but you get what I mean. These two guys tore each other up too. Keith Lee retained his NXT North American Championship, and I gotta give this match a full-fledged 4 out of 5 stars. Just kicking this show right off. It did its job. Moment of spot of the night, seriously, was the maneuver done by Djokovic performing a senton bomb off the rope and leaping on top of fucking Keith Lee while he's sitting in a fucking chair, a broadcaster's chair, and connecting with that maneuver. I couldn't believe that. Sorry. But yeah, that was a great way to start off the match, or start off the show. I mean, was that match. Then we had Tegan Nox and Dakota Kai. This match was pretty darn good too in its own right. It was a 3.5 out of 5 stars. There was a botch ending, which I actually didn't mind how the botch looked, because the botch looked even more painful than if Tegan Nox would have went through the table. Now, some mysterious woman who hasn't been on NXT at all, but has performed in the Mae Young Classic tournaments, which I don't really watch at all, so I didn't know who this woman was, and I was just kind of a little dumbfounded. I forgot the name of who she was that they announced by Mauro Ranallo, but she interfered in this match and cost Tegan Nox the matchup altogether. But this match was pretty damn good in its own right too. So 3.5 out of 5 stars for that match. From there we had Finn Baylor and Johnny Gargano. This match was actually, it was good action, but it did not have the kind of pace that I was looking for this match to be successful. And it kind of fell flat for me, per se. I'm probably in the minority on this one. I don't think too many people thought that this match sucked. And not that I'm saying that this match sucked or anything, but it didn't. I had high hopes for this matchup. This match really did not meet my expectations so much. Not that the wrestling was bad or anything, because I thought the wrestling was very good. It just didn't live up to the hype that I felt it deserved. This match felt very like a normal, everyday matchup that had good wrestling, but just not that kind of drastic feel to it, I guess. Adam Cole and Tommaso Ciampa had that more kind of feel towards their match, which I'll get into. But overall, I won't discredit this match. This match was pretty darn good. I'm giving it a 4 out of 5 stars simply because of the fact that this match really was decent. It had a lot of good action. Both of these guys were performing at their best. It just, there was some kind of chemistry. I think maybe I have a thing that I don't really like Gargano and Baylor competing against each other. Maybe that's the case. And they just don't feel like they mesh well, to me, at least. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think of what I had to say on that. Because personally, I just didn't think they lived up to the expectations of what I was looking for. Then after that, we had the NXT Women's Championship match. This match was pretty average. It was one of the better matches that I've seen Bianca Belair in. I didn't particularly like her against Shayna Baszler. That match really sucked and was very disappointing. But this match that Bianca Belair got this time around was successful in my opinion. I'm giving it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. So yeah, this was definitely a hell of a fucking match. It went back and forth, and really, Bianca Belair looked like she might have had a chance to win this damn title to begin with. But unfortunately, that was not the case. Rhea Ripley hit the riptide from the top. Well, she didn't hit it from the top rope, but kicked her in the face with her, actually pulled her by her arm. Her head hit the turnbuckle, and then she grabbed her arm, put her in the riptide maneuver, and connected and got the 1-2-3 for the win. And that was pretty much what happened there. But yeah, this was a 3.5. Solid, good women's wrestling match, I think. So I have no complaints on that one. Really, I have no complaints on anything on this fucking show. If you have any complaints about this show, you're fucking messed up. Personally, I think. Let's see here. The next match was the Tag Team Championship titles on the line with Pete Dunn and Matt Riddle versus the Undisputed Era of Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. I will go on note saying this. I am getting really sick and tired of these little skits that they're doing with Pete Dunn and Matt Riddle. I don't particularly think it matches them so well. It seems so much like the main roster type cheesy skits that they're doing. This go home show that they did where they had them trying to make it to Portland was really, silly and just dumb. So me personally, I didn't think that anything they did here in the beginning of this matchup before they actually had the match was really cool. The whole, how much could Bobby Fish fry fish if Bobby could fry fish could, or whatever the fuck they say. But I thought it was cute and funny the first time, but this time around, it really is overkill. Once you did it once, you didn't have to do it again. You don't have to keep reiterating that kind of garbage. This was should have been something to taken seriously, which later on it did become serious. Very good tag team wrestling. One thing AEW can say, and same for NXT, that they have in common is they care about tag team wrestling. Both of these companies provide great tag team wrestling at its finest. Ring of Honor used to be that way, but that was until their talent pool just kind of left for other companies and shit like that. So it really hurt them in the long run. But bottom line, I think that tag team wrestling is definitely an important aspect you should have within a wrestling promotion. Because let's say you decide that you don't want to use, a world championship title for one show or pay-per-view, or you want to give your guy a night off, whatever that whatever might be the case. You got a good storyline and rivalry built between two good tag teams. You could make that the main event of a fucking pay-per-view. ECW used to do shit like that and they were fucking great. I mean, ECW would give you pay-per-views where your main event would be with the ECW tag team titles on the line, especially when the Dudley Boys were around. So, I mean, quite frankly, I mean, any title, if you get a championship belt, any title could be used as a main event. It's depending on how you built up the matches to make that as the main event of your show. And quite frankly, if an tag team championship is being built up very well compared to the other titles that are being used for a pay-per-view, why not make that your main event? I mean, unless your world title's in the pay-per-view, then you want to make that your main event is the world championship. Now, granted, Matt Riddle and Pete Dunne did win this match. This was a fantastic matchup. I'm giving this a 4 out of 5 stars as well. Actually, 4.5 out of 5 stars, I should say. A lot of great action here. If you missed this pay-per-view, you missed out on a good fucking show. And this was a show that was meant to be a building block or a bridge from Portland all the way to the Takeover Tampa show. So to be quite frank with you, this should be expected not to be a super great show, and at the end of the day, it was. And that's pretty damn impressive, especially with a fucked ending to a world championship match that, again, was a 5-star clinic. And yes, of course, as you may already know, I'm saying that Adam Cole and Tommaso Ciampa was a 5-star classic. This was hands down easily a 5-star classic match of the fucking night. And the moment of the night was Johnny Gargano turning on Tommaso Ciampa and hitting him in the head with the title, costing him the match and making him lose to Adam Cole. That is the overall show. This was a fucking great show. And if anyone wants to come on this video and say that this show sucked, please don't watch wrestling anymore, because you know nothing about wrestling and you probably don't like wrestling, so you shouldn't be watching this video if you don't like wrestling. But quite frankly, this was superb show. There wasn't that, out of all the matches I ranked from 1 to 5, 5 being the best, there wasn't one match that I ranked below a 3.5. Every other match was fucking fantastic. This was a great show. And quite frankly, anyone that says it wasn't a good show, please get lost. Because that's retarded. You're definitely in the minority on that one. But anyway, guys, hit the like button if you liked the video. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed to the channel. And leave a comment down below, and I'll definitely get back to you on that. And I thank you very much for watching, and have a great night, guys. Bye.